When OPPO announced Realme One, their new sub-brand smartphone that will specifically be sold in India and will be an online exclusive smartphone, I didn't really expect too much from it. But since the base model of Realme One starts at just Rs 8,990, I thought I'll give it a try and see if it can really challenge Xiaomi's Redmi 5. Which is priced at par with the similar 3GB RAM and 32GB storage variant. If we look at the specs, it definitely has got better specs than the Redmi 5, but specs are not everything. It's also about how the software has been optimized. It is interesting to note that we are talking about smartphones in a super budget segment under Rs 10,000. You can't really expect too much in terms of software optimization for better performance. There isn't really much to talk about in this section. I don't expect too much from a Rs 9,000 smartphone. The box looks nice, the packaging of the contents is pretty straightforward. There are some papers on the top and then you have the smartphone, and after that you have got the wall adapter and micro USB cable beneath it. There is a SIM ejector tool as well as a transparent case for the smartphone. When I first held the smartphone, it felt really good. It does look premium quality smartphone. The display is 6-inch with trending 18:9 aspect ratio, and the back has a diamond cut design, which is quite a new thing to see on a smartphone this cheap. It's not metal, definitely not glass, it's plastic actually, but the material used is really high quality and does not feel plasticky at all. But it is very shiny and will attract a lot of fingerprints. Perhaps because of this design, OPPO didn't include a fingerprint sensor to the Realme One. So how do you secure your phone? Well, it does have face unlock, and it's for the first time I'm trying out face unlock on a smartphone, and I'm quite impressed. It is quite fast and works even in moderately lit room, and obviously it won't work in dark room, and for that you will have to type the password, and that will be the only time you will be missing the fingerprint sensor. Since Realme One is not metal, it weighs only 155 grams, which is quite rare for a 6-inch smartphone. The frame of the phone is thin, so much that it feels like there was a last-minute change in the design, and that's why the front glass does not house inside the frame, though it does not interfere with the design and the look of the smartphone, but makes it more prone to cracking it in case of a fall. And perhaps this is why the retail box comes with a transparent cover for the smartphone, which fits in a way that it gives a bit of support to the glass. Also, the phone comes with a tempered glass fitted on the screen, so it will save you a visit to your local mobile shop for that. I compared the specs sheet of this phone with other smartphones in the same price segment, and Realme One is the thinnest of all, with just 7.8 mm of thickness. When you are investing Rs 9,000 in a smartphone, you shouldn't really expect too much in the camera department. No matter how many people or reviewers would praise the camera on these budget smartphones, consumers will always compare these smartphones with high-end camera phones. The single 13 megapixel rear camera on Realme One can take good enough photos, and the photos I took outside in natural light came out really well. The indoor photos aren't that impressive. The camera, both the front and the back, have features like artificial intelligence portrait mode, which lets you take photos with bokeh effect using artificial intelligence, and I am not really sure how intelligent the AI is because the portrait photos aren't that good. Most of the times they are simply useless. Sometimes it works, but then the blur isn't done properly around the edges of the subject. The beauty mode is also useless because it makes your photos look too artificial. There isn't too much control in the camera app as well, so you cannot expect a lot from the camera app. But still, considering the price you're going to pay for this phone, it isn't that bad. And I would like to share one tip, and that is, if you want to take good photos, turn off the portrait mode, turn off the beauty mode, and try to use natural light as much as you can, and the photos will be impressive. If you talk about taking videos, there isn't anything great here as well. No stabilization of any kind at all, and apart from the shakiness, the video quality is good. You can shoot full HD videos from both front and the back camera. So this is the front camera of OPPO RealMe 1, and you can check out the quality. I have one light in front of me. I am indoors, so there's natural lighting condition, and you can also check out the mic. Now I will go outside. It's around 6 p.m. so you can check out the quality you will get when you are outdoors in natural light. The MediaTek Helio P60 chipset which powers RealMe 1 is actually at par with Snapdragon 625 which powers the Redmi Note 5. And it is not just on the paper, the MediaTek Helio P60 processor does feel faster. In fact, OPPO has put this processor on their other smartphones which are almost double the price of RealMe 1. So it is indeed a fact that you will be getting a smartphone with better specs with RealMe 1. But like I said earlier, specs are not everything. It's about how well the software has been optimized to make the most of the hardware. Sadly, like every other smartphone coming out of China, the optimization isn't that impressive. The phone comes in 3 different variants, and only 2 variants are on sale right now on Amazon.in, and the base variant starts at Rs 8,990 for the 3GB RAM and 32GB storage variant, and the higher variant is of 6GB RAM and 128GB of storage, which is priced at Rs 13,990. So the base variant makes more sense to me because there isn't too many options under the Rs 10,000 segment, where the price of the higher variant gives you more options like Redmi Note 5 Pro or even the Zenfone Max Pro 1. Also, the RealMe 1 has a dedicated Microsd slot, so you can expand the storage up to 256 GHz, which is very unlikely, but again, it's good to have options. My unit is a 3GB RAM and 32GB storage, but 2GB RAM is taken by just the Color OS, which is OPPO's custom skin over the Android to make it look and behave like the iOS. So because you have just 1GB RAM available for the recent apps, even your third or fourth last apps would reload when you switch back to them. And sometimes even just the previous app will also reload if you go back to it. The RealMe smartphone has got a single speaker at the bottom on the left hand side. So if you are a left-hander like me, you might block it while using the smartphone. Sadly, the speaker on the smartphone is not that impressive. It's loud, but I would like to have a little bass in the sound as well. The RealMe 1 has a 3410 mAh of non-removable battery which can easily last for a day on moderate use. I couldn't find the battery details sections where I could see the screen time, but I observed around 6 to 7 hours of screen time. So the battery performance is impressive thanks to OPPO's aggressive power saving mode, which you will know more about in the software performance section. Obviously there is no support for fast charging. Again, it's a 9,000 rupees phone. So there is a normal 5V 2A charger that can charge the battery in around 2.5 hours. Things that Android users rejoice have been made absent in Color OS, such as dismissing notifications is a two-step job. You can't reply directly to the notifications. Certain sections in the setting area are hidden or locked. The smartphone also kills the apps in the background, and it's pretty aggressive about it. Also, you won't see more than 5 apps in the recent apps area as well, since the aggressive AI mode keeps killing the apps to conserve the battery. But again, there are few little compromises you will have to make if you want to buy a smartphone in this budget segment and want it to work faster. In short, it's quite limiting to live with Color OS, but if you do not tinker with your smartphone a lot, it's really not that tough. It could be a good smartphone if you want to gift it to your parents or relatives, because all the limitations of these smartphones might not concern them at all. The Realme smartphone is available to buy on Amazon.in. I will put the link in the description below. In case if you want to buy, you can follow the link. So this is it in this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit the like button so that I know that you liked it. And if you did not like it, let me know the reason in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you can do it right now by pressing that red button below this video. And I will see you in the next one. Till then, take care.